Hi, I'm Mateo. I'm that friend of your future self, here again. Welcome to video A16, of the Clever Quick series of strategies for the management of learning. Video A16 covers understanding information, which is the U in Quick. The Clever Quick system is a comprehensive set of strategies to ensure students get a great start on their lifetime of learning. Once again, I'm speaking to you from your future, and I know you will become successful when you use these strategies. Thanks for joining in today. Priya, Ethan and Blaise will help us with totally understanding the information we receive.
That's great, Mateo. If we don't understand the information we encounter, we will have a lot of difficulty with our learning. And then it will be almost impossible to do a good job of informing others.
If you're anything like me, you may be familiar with sleep reading. I seem to have perfected that approach. I could read through text material for hours without thinking or learning anything. What an incredible waste of time. A person must be active when reading written material, whether it is in a textbook or online. You must do something to learn the material. You have to think about what you're reading.
Sleep reading was a skill I shared with Priya. We both had problems reading and learning material. Then we tried an active approach. You will be actively reading and learning if you use a reading strategy such as SMILE. The letters in SMILE each stand for a different step in an overall plan of attack on your reading tasks. Using SMILE, you will never have to read the same material the same way more than once. You will save a lot of time in all your future study sessions. Problems understanding? Just SMILE. SMILE is a plan of attack to be used on all your text and online reading assignments. The letters stand for S. Skim to get the big picture. M. Map out main idea notes in MOD format, mapped outline diagram. I. Identify exactly what specific information you need. Focus on the information and ideas that you need, not on everything. L. Link your information on your mod as you read and gather notes, section by section, looping back through the text to verify accuracy. E. Encode material for effective learning.
Yes, Ethan, this approach literally saved my life as a student. Let's share the information with the people watching the video. S. Skim to get the big picture. Could you imagine trying to put together a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle without seeing an overall picture of what it was supposed to look like at the end? With nothing to guide you in your organization of the pieces, the assembly process would undoubtedly take you much longer, if indeed you ever solved the puzzle. Plowing into a textbook chapter from Word 1 and slogging through to the end, is in many ways, a similar experience. You encounter many facts without an overall understanding of how they fit together. It is a very inefficient method of learning. What you need to do is get the big picture. You must get an overview of the whole chapter by skimming for the main topics and organizational structure. Once you have the big picture, it's easier to see where all the details fit in, and much easier to remember them.
Go through these steps as you skim your information. Examine the title and think about it. This will clue you into the general content. Read the introductory paragraph, a hint of what's to come. Read the headings and subheadings, they point out the main ideas. If there aren't any, read the first sentence of each major paragraph. Read the summary or last paragraph and any questions or exercises at the end of the chapter. You'll know what to focus on when you read the chapter. Also, as you skim through the chapter, pay attention to pictures, diagrams, graphs, maps, captions, and italicized words. Your skimming will only take several minutes. It's time well spent.
M. Map out main idea notes in a MOD format, mapped outline diagram. Once you have completed skimming the chapter, it is time to evaluate the information you have obtained and map out your first notes in a mapped outline diagram, a MOD format. This strategy involves the organization of notes in a graphic diagram which emphasizes the ideas that are most important. The outlined ideas are webbed out like a map. This allows for a great deal of flexibility when putting down ideas. It also allows you to easily add other points later. Constructing this type of diagram provides the framework for the rest of your notes. As you organize your notes, you are also clearly defining the organizational pattern of the material in your mind. Stop and think about the information. How would it be best organized in notes? Put down what you feel are the main points or subsections in the chapter. One suggestion is to write down the subtitles and main ideas as they are organized in the chapter. Be sure to leave sufficient room to add notes under each heading. If it is a long chapter, you may need to divide up your diagram over several pages. Each page could contain one subsection. In any case, it is usually a good idea to have plenty of space to work with. You'll notice that the diagram is organized by placing the chapter heading, or overall main idea of the chapter, in the middle, and the supporting subsections, or major idea broken down into parts, around the outside, connected by lines. Subheadings often provide good subsection headings if they are used in the chapter you are reading.
Under the subsection headings on your mod notes, the main points and important details are listed. At a glance, it will be easy to pick out the level of importance of the ideas. Other types of graphic organizers can be used to assist your display of other types of information. Boxes or circles can be strung together if you are representing a sequence, or chain of events. You might use a chart of some kind, with boxes, to classify something. You may use a Venn diagram, to compare and contrast different things. The overlapping area in the middle highlights features common to all the things looked at. If you are in a senior class or other course where you own your text, you will be able to make marks on the page. Be cautious. When marking a selection, make sure that you only underline or highlight the key points. Do not highlight examples or definitions in the same manner. This ensures that you will be able to pick up the main points rapidly at a future date. Use an abbreviation system in the margin to mark other important information, X, for example, def, for definition, 1, 2, 3, for enumerations, and sun, for summaries. Review is easy with a well-marked text.
The books I was using had so much information, I felt like I was drowning. Finally, I learned to ask the I question. I need what, exactly? Focus on the information and ideas that you need, not on everything. Understand what your purpose is in reading the chapter. Do you just need an overview? Do you need some general information? Or do you need many precise details? Your purpose will determine your level of note-taking, and your degree of concentration on the individual sections within the chapter. It may be that the skim, and initial mapped notes, is all that is required. If that is the case, you do not need to proceed to the L and E steps. Be curious. Ask yourself questions, if you don't already have a set that needs to be answered. If you do have an assigned set, then one of your primary concerns will be locating answers. Keep your questions in mind as you read. Actively search for answers.
That's excellent advice, Priya. Now, when you get all that extra information that you want to remember, the next step, L, becomes so important. L. Link your information on your mod diagram as you read and gather notes, section by section, looping back through the text to verify accuracy. After you've skimmed, mapped out your information, and understood your purpose, I need what, exactly, you're ready for more in-depth linking of information. The best way to do this is to work through the chapter, mastering one manageable section at a time. A section marked off with a boldface or italicized heading is likely to be a manageable amount for thorough study. As you investigate each section, you will want to identify the main idea and the supporting details. You could start the search for the main idea by turning the heading or the topic sentence into a question. You can do this by asking who, what, when, where, why, or how. Next, read to find the answers to your questions, but, above all, search for the main points. Don't write everything down. Focus on the main ideas and supporting details. The main idea in a paragraph is the most important idea. It is the idea which the rest of the paragraph is about. Supporting details explain, prove, or tell something more about the idea. They make the main idea clearer, or give more information about it. The main idea of a paragraph is stated in the topic sentence. Most often the topic sentence is the first sentence in the paragraph. It can also be last, or in the middle.
Link the supporting ideas and details around the main points in your notes as you locate them through your careful reading. If you missed a main point in your skimming, it's easy enough to add it on your page as you encounter it in your reading. Make notes in the suggested way after each paragraph or section of the chapter. Note-taking is an active process that will help you learn much faster than just reading by itself. Do something about words you don't know. Use context clues if you can. In other words, figure out the meaning of the words from the way they are used. If you can't, try the glossary at the back of the book, or a dictionary. Check the accuracy of your notes by glancing back at the text. If you've missed some information, make sure you fill in any gaps before proceeding with anything else. Also check your understanding. Look at your mapping notes and tell yourself what the reading is about. Summarize the most important points from the chapter. When you are finished reading, you will have a set of good usable notes. Keep them in your notebook, labeled with the text page numbers. Don't lose them, they will be useful for test preparation.
E. Encode material for effective learning. Encode is a term used to describe the process of readying information to store in memory. It means, literally, to put into some type of code. We must first decide what form the information should be in. What form will make it easier to learn and easy to recall later when we need it. We're already well on our way to effective learning. The mapped outline diagram, LOD strategy, has organized the notes in a way that can already be most easily learned. When studying, you can cover up most of what you've written and only look at the main ideas. Then you can practice reciting the important details. Check to see how accurate you are, and re-study points that you may have missed. Finally, when you feel confident that you know the material, turn all your notes over and practice recalling the main ideas and related information. Attempting to redraw your mod notes is a useful exercise. Lock into your mind the notes you're reading over. Use as many of your senses as possible when you do this. See the important words, say the important words out loud, listen to yourself and write down what you need to remember. The strategies discussed here will ensure that you learn and understand the material you've read. Further memory strategies are supplied in Section C of Quick Coding for Memory.
Thanks so much Priya and Ethan for sharing this SMILE strategy with us. We will all learn the information we receive so much better if we follow your plan. We'll also be in a much better position to inform others. Matteo will point us in that direction.
This has been Video A16 in the Clever Quick series, Understanding Information. Try the ideas we have suggested to be more effective in your learning. Next up, look for Video A17, Inform Others. We look forward to seeing the future you. Thanks for your attention.